chat. How's it going? Give me 1 second. And imagine that there's a song playing in the background. There's like and you just have to wait until I start streaming. I'm trying to put the chat on my phone right now, which is something I can't do before the stream, unfortunately. So, all right. Okay. Here we go. Let me find my phone support, which is my second monitor. My phone is now my second monitor. Oh, Conspiracy Cat, how's it going? I see you there. I acknowledge your presence. Why is it that, like this is something that bothers me? It's still the thumbnail with Dr. Frank, and I changed the thumbnail. God damn it. Change the thumbnail, but it's still the same one. You know what? That's fine. It's fine. I get it. Like, what can you do? God damn you. Every time they update their website and they have a new patch, this happens. Sadness. Alright. If you guys can shill this, I would appreciate it. And, I might not be as happy as usual because I'm experiencing some family drama. If you guys check my Twitter, you can see it. I would rather not talk about it because this is supposed to be a fun and humorous stream. But, you know, I'm just letting you know why I'm a little bit depressed. I guess like I should actually touch on it a little bit so that you guys don't ask. Yeah, so my mother isn't doing very well and she doesn't want to go to the hospital, and my family have pressured her to go to the hospital with no avail. And it's kind of meh. I don't need suggestions. I don't need you guys to tell me. It's like, oh, why don't you try this? Like there was a person on Twitter which is like, why don't you take your mother to a shop, but then like trick her and take her to the hospital instead? It's like, dude, like my mother isn't 5. I you know, and like even if I were to, like the doctors do not treat patients that don't want to be treated. I had the suggestion like, why don't you call the ambulance? It's like, because she will just not open the door, and even if she does, the people from the ambulance like do not have the equipment required. It's in the hospital, right? So like, no, I don't need any advice. Like there was another guy, it's like, oh, get angry, smash stuff. It's like, all right, if a person is at the stage where they're depressed and don't want to go to the hospital, you doing that life even more difficult is probably not a good idea. So I just, look, I know the advices, I understand, I have tried everything. It's not just me, it's my family. Like everyone is trying to convince her, but she's got an illness which also increases depression. Right? Like she's not depressed because life is bad. She's depressed because of chronic illnesses and whatever. Okay? It's just, I do appreciate that people try to help out, but unfortunately, this is a situation which is going to fix itself as time goes by. I don't expect any, you know, like solutions. This is not something that has like just textbook solution for it. Anyway, right. It is frustrating, exactly. Like Conspiracy Cat says. Like there's two types of people. People who experience this and understand how frustrating it is, and people who haven't experienced this. And hopefully you will not. Because when I was a doctor, this is like one of the worst things, when you have a patient that has something which could have been easily treated had he come earlier. But because he chose not to, now it's critical condition, and their family is also upset because it's like, oh, well, we've been trying to get him to go to the hospital for months now, and alright, fine. Okay. I got some good news. You guys know who Uni Luna is? Uni Luna. Alright, Uni Luna. Do you guys know who that is? Do you guys know who Arch is? Arch Warhammer. So Uni Luna is going to do a collab with Arch Warhammer next month, I believe on the 11th, and it's going to be amazing. I am really hyped. I am pogging. I wish you could see my face, but it's like this is my head. I'm pogging right now. Like It's still a soy face, but it's an acceptable soy face. It's a socially acceptable soy face. So they're going to be having fun. Now, Yuri Luna is the type of person that has difficulty interacting with others, but hopefully Arch, being a professional streamer with more than 6 years of experience, is going to have the capability of dragging Yuri Luna out of her shell. And bringing a Yuri Luna that shines in front of the public. I want to see that happening. I want to see her shine in front of an audience of 2,000 people. And everyone is going to be, oh my god, I didn't know that VTubers can be cool. I thought VTubers are cringe, but then I saw Yuri Luna and she screamed and broke my eardrums. And I now am going to say that VTubers are cool because otherwise they will come for my eyes next. So, I think it's going to be a really great stream. I think it's going to be kick-ass. I do have to say, it took them 1 month to schedule this. It is the most difficult stream that I have scheduled in my entire YouTube career. Watching Arch, which is a person that DMs very rarely. I mean, it's like trying to talk to Arch. You know, you leave a message and maybe like in 3 days he responds. Yuri Luna, for those of you who tried, is in the same category, but worse. And seeing them DM to one another was like seeing old people fuck in slow motion with bullet time. And after 1 month, they have finally scheduled the collab. It's like, congratulations. I know that Yuri probably doesn't watch my stream. She hasn't seen this. But you guys who are in the know, Alice can get a laugh out of it. So there's that. Yeah, she's very quiet, just like Koa. You know, like, one of the things that I hate is that she actually got a new microphone. I loved it, like, when she was screaming, her microphone would peak. So we, as the listeners, didn't get the full Yuri Luna experience. I bet her neighbors did. I bet if you're a neighbor with Yuri Luna, you'd probably call the police on a daily basis, thinking that there's a woman in distress. But probably that's why she moved into a more dangerous neighborhood, a place where women probably scream all the time. So the neighbor is like, oh, well, I guess it's just another mugging. I guess it's just another home invasion. Oh, no, wait, it's just Yuri Luna doing her streams. So, yeah, but now she fixed her microphone, and now you can actually hear her scream in all her owlish glory. Okay, moving forward. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Because otherwise I'm just saying things and it's like, who the fuck is Yuri? What the fuck is we talking about? What the fuck? Walt Disney, chat. Walt Disney, the mouse. Haha. The mouse. Ha 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 ha. The mouse did an oopsie. A oopsie. Like, for a long while, there was this social contract that if you're a company, you can pretty much do whatever you want, right? You can do whatever you want because the government is progressive, and progressives are in power. Progressives have the cock that they can spin around like a helicopter and do whatever they want. So if you're a company, my God, you know, have that progressive message. Just show how much you care. You can do business in China, and you can have some Uyghurs as more... how should we put it in a way that is sensitive? Because I emailed Tsunderia. I want to collab with Lisa, so I want to... You know, in case they watch my streams, which they don't, but in the case they watch my streams, I have to check my thinking a little bit. More unconventional forms of labor. Let's put it like that. Yeah, so you can be a company like Nike, which does business with China in a more unconventional labor. And then you can also talk about how much you care about the minorities and how you're standing against Asian hate and all that, right? Like, that's what companies have been doing lately. In fact, there are companies out there who keep forgetting to advertise their product in their advertisements, like the Gillette razor. Like, Gillette razor doesn't show an actual razor in their entire 3-minute commercial. Like a 3-minute commercial without actually showing you the razor or trying to tell me why I should buy it. but they tell me about what they think about society and how society should be reorganized in the image of Gillette. So now you have all these companies trying to change the world. You know, I like to call it woke capitalism, where companies pretending that they are for social justice are selling a product to people who pretend to hate capitalism. It's all a facade. It's like a circus, a grand theater. It's very beautiful, you know, watching it from over here in Eastern Europe. But companies now try to outdo each other in their progressiveness. And the last company that did it was Disney. Ha 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 ha, the mouse. Ha 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 ha. And, you know, like Disney intervened in Florida. Now, in Florida, there was a law which, depending on who you ask, is the Don't Say Gay bill, which I don't understand why they had to codify it, because I had a friend who went on the Blizzard forums and watched some patch notes and said, my God, that's gay. And he got banned. Like, he got banned for saying gay. So, like, I don't understand why you need to make a law for that. Like, if you go online and you say the word gay, you do get banned. So, I don't see why the government needs to step in, but okay, so depending on who you ask, it's either the Don't Say Gay bill or the Anti-Grooming bill. You know, it depends from person to person. One person says this, another person says that. We need to wait for the fact checkers to tell us what to think. But the thing is, Disney said that they will do everything within their power as a company in order to stop that from happening, in order to stop such legislation from passing. Now, what's interesting is that when the legislation was actually being discussed, Disney didn't have any problem with it. It's only after it passed that Disney stepped up, right? So because of that, apparently the representative of the people in the representatives of the people in Florida, which are the elected members of the Floridan, what do you have, like state legislature, yeah? They said, okay, well, if that's how you want it, Disney, if that's how you want it, and what they did was they took away Disney's ability to self-govern. Now that fucking blew my mind. That really blew my mind. Like, what do you mean Disney had the ability to self-govern? Turns out, I didn't even knew this was possible, right? I would think that as a progressive man myself, fellow progressives would tell me that this is how bad things are in America. But no, like apparently Disney as a company can actually govern a territory, and they have their own police, and they don't need a license when they want to build something, and they have tax exemptions. And I was like, holy shit, that is literally like the cyberpunk utopia where like the companies own everything. Well, turns out now they don't get to do that anymore. And if I'm not mistaken, someone on the internet, and, you know, take it with a grain of salt, went on and did an average of how much money they're going to lose, and it's apparently around $1 billion. And even for Disney, that's kind of a lot. So that's the conversation for today. You know, my private company couldn't do everything it wanted. It had some limits, and it's interesting that progressives are the ones more upset at this. We're going to see some Democrats talking about it, and of course they're siding with the company. Elon Musk is evil, but Disney is good. Elena Ceausescu asks, how bad is the opioid fentanyl problem in Romania? I mean, I don't have a study in front of me, but I can tell you this. At my high school, I never had or known a single person doing drugs. Now, we did have a couple of people that did like cough syrup with certain pills and mixed them up, and, you know, that was a problem. But no, like, we did not. Does it not exist? It probably does exist, but it's probably a very low problem. Let's put it like that. The IRS sent me $5,000. Here, 5 peasants bow before me. Jari, you have $5,000 and you only give me 5? I appreciate that. You know, you thought that I would want more. I do not. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Okay, let's now go back to Disney, because I know you guys hate it when I allow the super chats in order to interrupt what I have to say. So this is a very interesting take from Ted Cruz. I love this take. This is beautiful. I will probably, you know what? I think I'll have it in This Week in Stupid next week because it is the take of all takes. Ted Cruz warns that Disney programming will soon depict Mickey Mouse and Pluto fucking. I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine this, alright? Like, do you guys know? Alright, hold on. Like, it's been a while, right? It's been a while since we see this. So let me see if I can bring it up to speed. Here we go. Here we go, chat. In case you're... If you're born in the 2000s, right? You would be 22 years old. In 2000s, you didn't have Pluto and Mickey, so you don't know what we're talking about, but this is what we're talking about. Right? Now here's the thing. Would it be bestial? I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be because they're both animals. I'm pretty sure like somewhere on a corner of the internet, it has happened. Oh, chat. Oh. Chat. Oh my god, chat. Moving back. V, what was that? That was escapism, chat. That was escapism. Furries, man, I'll tell you. I mean, look. I already seen a commercial on YouTube. It was for some game. I forgot which. And it said that this game has a representation for everyone, even furries. It was talking about like the characters you can create. And it was like you can create a dragon, you can create a skeleton, even furries are represented. And I was like, oh. And I, you know, like maybe Walt Disney can go to that. Who knows? Who knows? Like, appreciating for the furry demographics. Like, maybe the furry... Or no, wait, like, the furries, aren't they watching Has Been Hotel? And Hell of a Boss? They're good shows, by the way. I like them. I like the animations. I do like Has Been Hotel more than Hell of a Boss. The radio demon completely seduced me. I'm questioning my sexuality after seeing that radio demon. So, I'm waiting for more episodes from Has Been Hotel. I don't know what happened with Has Been Hotel. It had one episode, and I think, like, a TV station picked it up. So now I'm waiting for more episodes, but it's good. It's good. I like it. Has Been Hotel. You should check it out. It's really great. Anyway, right, so. You watch hentai for the animations? No, you watch it for the plot, man. That's why you watch it. So, Ted Cruz. Words that Disney programming will soon depict Mickey Mouse and Pluto doing the nasty. One of the most disturbing aspects of the Florida Don't Say Gay law. You know, like, this is how you can find out if a person is left-leaning or not. You just look how they're depicting the Florida bill. If they call it, like, the anti-groomer bill, then they're a right-winger. If they call it the Don't Say Gay, they're a left-winger. And this is how you can tell if a publication is left-wing or right-wing. By the way, how do centrists call it? Like, they probably call it the name of the bill, right? Like, Bill 72 or whatever the fuck it's called. Anyway, so it prohibits this classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in primary schools. I mean, it's like... See, like, this is something else. I just want to step out of character a little bit and have this question. And I know that Le Pen lost in France, okay? I just want to step out of character and have this question. How did I go through school and not have the talk up until 3rd grade? How old are you in 3rd grade anyway? I think you're like 9? Like 9 years old, right? Like when I was 9 years old, I didn't even know sex existed. I thought that kissing is yucky. I remember like... I got kissed by a girl once, and I don't know if I was in 3rd grade or 4th, but I was like really young, and a girl kissed me, and I immediately rubbed my cheek in disgust because it was icky. Right? So, how did I manage to go through life? Like, I think that I've been missing something, because I have managed to go through 2 universities, med school and law school, but I think if I had the LGBT talk, or actually, you know, like any type of sexual talk, in primary school, I could have gotten for a third diploma, chat. I could have got a mathematics diploma. I could have done mathematics. Like that. That's how smart you all get. You know, like your brain opens up to all these new possibilities. You know, you build up. That's the foundation. I just learned the ABCs. I didn't learn the LGBTs in school. I learned about the LGBTs from real life, you know. Apparently, there is a life outside of school. I know it's shocking. Like, a lot of people are bewildered. But yeah, like, you can talk with your parents. You can watch Netflix. I mean, Netflix is really the PhD level when it comes to getting an education. You can play video games. You can talk about it on Discord. You can open Twitter, Facebook. You know, you can learn about it from other places than schools. But no, apparently, like, if it's not taught to you by someone with a license, by a teacher, then it doesn't exist. Hello, Synchro 505. Everyone say hello to Synchro 505. He just joined the chat. Anyway, Senator Ted Cruz recently suggested that because Disney decided to speak out against the bigoted Florida legislation. See, it's not that it decided to speak out that's the problem, but it's the fact that they stated that they are going to do everything in their power to overturn legislator, that the government decided to fuck with them. I mean, look. If I was a company, like, let's put it this way. If I was, like, some guy working at Disney, and I would say I would do everything in my power to fuck with Disney, what do you think would happen? Now, of course, you know, it's the government, so it's different, because it's the government. Like, yeah, but, like, when you're normalizing censorship, when you're normalizing so that every single person experiences censorship in their life when they go on social media, why are you Pikachu face when the same people are now supporting the government censoring shit? You know, like, this is the people that say, well, rape jokes normalize rape culture. I agree, okay? So when you normalize censorship, you're normalizing people supporting legislators that censor. Just putting it out there. Sup, Trey 50 Daniel, how's it going? Bree 505. What 505? Bree. I am going to screw with the mafia. I mean, the guy. Yeah, it's kind of like the guy that's like, oh, I'm going to screw with the mafia. So, yeah, Disney receives backlash from its employees for initially refusing to do so. So I want to remind people, like, Disney initially wanted to be like a company, and it's like, okay, we're not going to do anything because it's not our business. Like, we just want to entertain people. It's what we do. We make cartoons, okay? Like, we leave the politics to the politicians. The politicians need to have a job as well. Like, the politicians need to put food on their table. We can't take away the food of politicians. Like, it's not our place. You know how the science needs to be left to the scientists? We want to leave politics to the politicians. But no. And by the way, like, if Disney would have just gave money to the Democrats, let's put it like that. You know, like, you have a Democrat running against a Republican, and Disney would be, you know, we want to support the Democrat agenda. So they pump money. Pump. No one would have cared. Apparently, in America, it's okay to do this. If you do this in Europe, it's corruption. You can't pump money as a company and a politician. It's called corruption. The politician goes to prison for receiving money. But in the United States, it's called free speech. I disagree with the take, by the way. I think it's a very dumb take, but what can you do? Get money out of politics. By the way, do you remember when the Young Turks were part of the get money out of politics crowd? Wolfpack.com! Funny how they don't bring that up anymore. In fact, they're probably siding with Disney. I haven't checked what the Young Turks are complaining about. Because, like, let's be honest, the Young Turks is the whining channel. It's the Let's Play of news, but they're always whining and complaining. They're not even laughing, at least on my channel. I laugh about the shit that's happening, but the Young Turks, they're like, yeah, look what happened, yeah. Every single goddamn time, they're like, I start to wonder if they were capable of making, like, a video where they talk about what they love about America. Do you think Cenk Uygur would be able to say, look, I love about America because I managed to start my business over there, and I got so many other Americans that listen to me, and it's a great thing to live in America. Can you see Cenk Uygur do something like that? No, of course not. He's like, nah! Do you know what Cenk Uygur did for the world? Do you know what's the best gift that Cenk Uygur had for the world? Hassan Piker. I'm not kidding. Do you know who Hassan Piker is? He is the #1 rated male VTuber on Twitch. I saw him stream the other day, and he had the VTuber tag on Twitch. I'm not kidding. I can't show you a picture because I didn't know that the conversation is going to reach the subject. But Hassan Piker was streaming on Twitch. He had a couple of thousands people watching. I think it was like over 10,000 people watching. And when I looked down to the tags, one of the tags said VTuber. I like VTubers, and because of that, I need to like Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is on my team. Maybe I can get him onto the Archcast. Maybe I can do a Hassan Piker Uniluna collab. They're both on Twitch. I'll try to make it happen. I don't know if Uniluna can handle Hassan Piker, though. She gets nervous. She gets emotional. Cenk Uygur complained about his strawman of Citizens United in his Disney self-governance cancellation video. Did he now? See, I couldn't strawman him because I didn't say what he did. I said I wouldn't be surprised if. So, because I haven't seen what he did. But like I can imagine the Cenk Uygur mindset, and I can be like, he would probably side with this issue. All right. Kent Bijud. What? Your mother died again? It is the same mother who died 6 years ago. Kent, 6 years ago, I just started doing YouTube. And my mother never passed away. She's still alive, thank God. I think you're referring to either my grandmother or my godparents. And they did pass away. People have many relatives. Sometimes, as you get older, some of the relatives pass away, and it affects you emotionally. So I'm not going to be angry that you brought it up. I'm going to assume that you're not a troll and you're just an innocent person that doesn't like it when he's being lied to. I'm not lying, okay? And she did not die. She's just very sick and refusing to go to the hospital. Thank you for reminding me, by the way. I appreciate it. Okay, now I am upset about you. Why the fuck did you have to bring it up? Anyway, right, moving forward. Short Fat Otaku seem to be making an argument that their platforms and podiums are dying. Cenk Uyghurs? I don't think it's going to die. I think that it's doing poorly now because the Democrats are in power, but like the moment you're going to have Republicans taking control again, you might have the Young Turks being popular one more time. Anyway, right, so, in an extremely weird set of remarks. Oh, this is weird. All right. Even for him, the Texas lawmaker said that in a live recording of his podcast, I think there are people who are misguided, trying to drive Disney stepping up, saying, in every episode, now they're going to have, Mickey and Pluto going at it. Like, really? It's just like, come on, guys, there are kids, and, you could always shift to Cinemax. Yeah, so, like, Disney actually said that they're going to have LGBT representation in every single one of their shows. I don't believe it. Press X to doubt, simply because they want to sell in China. So if Disney makes something that is not going to be sold in China, it's probably going to have LGBT in it. If it's something that it's a movie that they are going to have like on the big theater, like, I don't know, like Frozen or, like something for the big cinema, yeah, then it's going to definitely have no LGBT representation. Which is why I don't believe these corporations that they actually care, and why I'm really glad that bad things are happening to them. Because they don't care. They're very cynical. They only want cash. Like, if they legitimately cared about gay people, I might have viewed things differently. I still disagree with them, but I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a company that has strong convictions. But let's be honest, that's not the case. Okay, so It's good that bad things are happening to them. The more bad things that happens to Disney, the more happy I am. Because let's be honest, they can't make me happy with their cartoons anymore. So if they can't make me happy with their cartoons anymore, at least they can make me happy with their suffering as they have to pay taxes the same like I do. Imagine how bad it must be. How difficult it must be for a company to pay taxes the same way like every other mortal has. Oh yes, the suffering, the plight. Oh, they can't actually have the ability of having sovereignty over a piece of land. That is so sad. They're like normal people. Oh my God, it's so bad being like normal people, isn't it? By the way, if Florida really wants to fuck with Disney, there is this ability that the US government has which is to make an IP into public domain. Imagine if Mickey and Pluto were now public IPs that you could actually make in a comic book and it was free use. Wouldn't that be interesting? I mean, I'm just saying, you know, like Disney, you think you lost everything? Oh no, there's still more to be had. Remember when that kid wanted a Spider-Man on his grave? So there was this kid on a Make-A-Wish Foundation, and all he wanted was a Spider-Man on his gravestone. And Marvel said no. Marvel being owned by Disney, by the way. Yeah. You know, maybe Florida man can say, hey, you know what? Like, maybe we should make these in eminent domain, I think it's called. Eminent domain, yes. Honestly, though, I think that a cartoon that's old as Mickey Mouse, like, how many years does it? It's over 100 years, right? Probably not that much. But it's about there, right? And it's still copyrighted? Interesting. I'm just saying, like, there are many possibilities. Like, if you want to fuck with the government, look, I have herpes because the government fucks with me on a daily basis, so. Cenk and Anna said there's 2 billion bond Disney may get out of, and normal people have to pay as a result. Oh, yes, Cenk and Anna really cares about the normal people. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So when the government prints trillions of dollars, are they worried about inflation or that people have to pay for it? When the government shuts down the economy, is Cenk and Anna caring? When there's businesses being burned down, does Cenk and Anna care about the common people? Oh. Nani? Wait, you know, so like Romanians go, I don't know if Americans have this. Like, you probably don't really have it. Like, where are you going? I need to do the, but Japanese have it more interesting. It's like, Does Cenk and Anna care about normal people? All of a sudden, yeah, Disney. Oh yeah, let's tax the rich. Let's fuck with the rich. Oh no, we can't, because normal people, the average person, the average person might. Look here, you bigot. Former press secretary for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign is cheating on mega corporation lobbyists. Wow, how things have changed. So let's see how they're cheating on mega corporate. This is Bernie Sanders, eat the rich, millionaires and billionaires.
I mean, this is ridiculous. And I know bashing corporations is popular left and right these days. I'd be careful going on.
Oh, my money is on the Disney lobbyists, honey.
Would you
my money is on the Disney lobbyists. Do you think those state legislatures down in Florida are going to bend to the will of the governor?
Did you see what Jared Polis said? He'd love a Rocky Mountain Disney. But by the way, the Florida legislature, the state Senate, just passed this bill to strip Disney of its special access. Look, this is ridiculous. And I know
ridiculous.
Bashing corporations is popular left and right these days. I'd be careful going on.
Oh, my money is on the Disney lobbyists.
I love how he's
my
like,
money is on the Disney lobbyists. Do you think those state
So you have a corporation that has an excess amount of power. Like, it's not normal for a corporation to have its own plot of land and have autonomy over it. Like, that is a special case. That is what we call a privilege. You know how the left is against white privilege? Well, guess who owns Disney? A white person. So taking away that privilege is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is pretty much how, poor Disney. Wah. This is pretty much how I guess like people would have viewed going against the king in medieval society, right? Because the king, he's got power from God. Like, God anoints the king, and then the king owns everything in the country. So if you were to talk about, and by the way, like, this was the thing, like, I think the British with Cromwell, right? Like, when they went against the king, that was unthinkable. Because at the time, the law came from the king. So by definition, the king cannot break the law. I mean, no one gets to punish the king. He is above everyone besides God. Like, only God can punish the king. So for them, it was like unthinkable to go against the king. They did it anyway, but like they had to struggle with the logic in order to do so. And it's the same now, you know, like people are going after Disney and it's like, oh, are they taking away Disney's ability to self-govern? Oh, that is ridiculous. Ridiculous, like the mouse, the mouse, should be able to do anything. Yeah, eat the rich other than me and other than Disney. Thank you for the donation, HK9410. I think HK9410 had something happen to him in real life. It's like he used to give like all these fat donations that were shocking me. And I still appreciate. Now he gives me $5. You know what I think happened? I'll tell you what happened. HK9410 has found some good VTubers that I've been shilling, and he has been donating to them. He has been pumping hundreds of dollars to those VTubers. And you know what? HK9410, Godspeed. I appreciate you doing that. You need to support the VTube community. Is Coach Red Pill alive? Yes! Yes, Coach Red Pill is alive. So I don't know why a lot of people thought that I would be happy because there were rumors, like rumors of his demise, which were greatly exaggerated, came out. And, you know, like I had beef with him. I never liked the guy. And I never liked the guy because he kept, well, the tactics that he used in order to grow his channel was that he would lie about the bigger YouTuber and then wait for the YouTuber to make a response video. So the moment you responded to him, he would get views. So he grew by using this tactic, which is a tactic that a lot of other YouTubers use, but I hate it when I see it. And he also talked to Sargon and was like, oh, why aren't you lying to people? You know, because like you could be a leader. You could be a political movement leader and shit. So like, no, this guy is really sleazy, and his predictions, like, according to him, Sargon would have struck a deal with MTV. Before Russia invaded Ukraine, he made a video inviting Americans to go to Ukraine and live there because it's going to be better in Ukraine than in the United States. Like, all this type of things, you know, and it's like, okay, fine. I don't like the guy, but just because I don't like the guy doesn't mean that I want the guy to die, you know, like. So people were making memes with me celebrating, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't enjoy human suffering, believe it or not. Like, just because I have, like, some internet spat with someone, that is a degree of hate that everyone can have towards a person. You know, you can dislike a person, and you can wish that I never want to speak with this person again, but that doesn't mean that you want to see them get sick, right? And then there's like when you really hate the person and you're like, oh, well, I hope bad things happen to him, but like you still don't want him to like have some permanent damage happen. And then there's like moral enemies level. And then you can escalate, you know, like someone that you really despise, like let's say a child molester or something. Right? So like there's different levels. And I just can't go all the way up to that level just because of an internet spat. Now, with that out of the way, I want to point out that I didn't even believe that he was dead. Because, why were people suggesting so? Well, they were suggesting because he said that if he's not going to stream every day, then people should assume the worst. And he wasn't streaming for a couple of days, so people assumed that he died. And I'm like, dude, like, can we get some outside reporting? I mean, I'm not saying that it may be wrong. But what I'm saying is that, again, you're taking his word for it, and the man isn't known to be entirely honest. So, why are you already assuming? I mean, if 2 years have passed and he has a stream, then maybe, but like, whatever. So, turns out that he was alive. You know, like, turns out that my skepticism paid off. Why red-pilled YouTubers are simping for Putin? For example, I used to like Black Pigeon, now I just can't trust his takes. I think it's because they view that the Western system has turned their backs on them. So they don't like the Western system. And they want the Western system to take a loss. To lose face. They want the Western system. I mean, yeah, if you look at some of the governors and the politicians in the West, they're so fucking arrogant. I mean, look at Sturgeon. I covered her in This Week in Stupid, right? She goes on without the mask. I mean, she makes mask mandates for everyone. And then she goes on without one, and it's so arrogant that she doesn't even care, like she's not even trying to hide it. And you look at the British politicians as well, You look at Mr. Johnson, right? Like Mr. Johnson tells people that they need to stay at home to stay safe, and some of them lost their jobs because of it. Businesses went under. And while that was happening, like literally when that was happening, he was out partying with his fellow politicians. And you gotta, you look at all of this arrogance and this hubris and the way they're behaving, and you're like, maybe they should lose. Like, for once in their life, they should also take an L. They're like, you just want to see them get down a peg, like that being taken down a little bit. They come to reality, you're not invincible. It's gone to your head. You're not a bunch of gods and deities. Like, there are other things out there, and you should be a little bit more humble. So I think that's why a lot of people on the right are not supporting the West right now, right? And it's also because they view that the West turned their back on them. Like, look at the Trudeau trucker thing, right? So you have the trucker strike, and they had a legitimate grievance, right? And all Trudeau had to do was to talk with them. Just have a conversation with them. What does he do? He runs away. He slanders them, lies about them, calls them racist, xenophobes, whatever, even though they were not. Like, you could see people of color within the protest, right? So he lies about them, slanders them, and then uses the government power in order to fuck with them. Seizing their bank accounts, showing like what the government can really do to fuck with people. Going into their private conversations, private emails, shutting down their access to funding and whatnot. So like, how can these people feel that they're being represented? I mean, what exactly do you do if you have a grievance? Like, if you have a grievance, you talk with other people, and if many people have the same grievance, you want to be listened. That's all, right? Now, I'm not saying that he should have caved into their demands, but like, he didn't even sit down for 5 minutes with them. Didn't even give them like any sort of attention, just completely lied and slandered them. So yeah, like when you do that to people, don't expect that those people aren't going to be patriotic. And they're going to be like, oh, well, I hope you fucking lose them. So that is why you have like all of these individuals on the right that don't display patriotism anymore. And funny enough, you see progressives displaying more patriotism than the right now. Like there's leftists that support war. Why? Because they view that the system is supporting them, right? Like a leftist, for example, people with BLM, right? I mean, they got listened to. They were sitting down with politicians, and their grievances were heard, right? So like, those people are now going to be more patriotic because they feel like, okay, well, we're being represented. Like, at least we're being listened to. So that is why you get to see these things. Why do you love me, Shane? I don't know. Why is it that you feel this homosexual attraction towards me, Shane? What have I done in order to deserve your love? Sometimes I'm so glad I'm not a female streamer, because if I was a female streamer and I would have seen Shane's very innocent love declaration, which is like, he loves me, But if I was a female streamer, I would be like, am I leading Shane astray? Am I giving him the impression that he has a chance with me? And I don't want to do that because I don't feel it's ethical. I feel it's abusing my powers. But because I'm a man, I know that Shane does not have actual homosexual feelings towards me. And even if it does, it's okay because he's far away. They will never come to fruition. I don't think like he's going to lust over me during the night. So it's a different feeling. Honestly, when I collaborate with female YouTubers, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Like, I gotta tell you guys something. All right, I gotta tell you something. We YouTubers, we stick out for each other. Not all of them, but sometimes we do. Like, we form small communities, usually surrounding similar interests. Like, for example, the comic book YouTubers. Like, they talk to each other. The movie review YouTubers talk to each other. The political sphere talks to each other. And we help each other out in small ways. Sometimes if a channel gets taken down, we pitch in and we try to get that person's channel back up. My desktop that you see here, you know, like Flamenco told me about it. I asked him like, hey, Flamenco, how do you do your streams? And he told me. The OBS setup was taught to me from back in the old days from Tonkasaw. I think it was like when I first went to Kumate, back when everyone was friends. I went to Kumate and Tonkasaw taught me how to do OBS. The video editing software that I use, Camtasia, cost $200. It was brought to me by Sargar Khan on Christmas. He gave it to me as a Christmas present because I used OBS to record before that. The background that I used, the logo, was given to me by Uzulu. So on and so forth. You know, like I got a lot of stuff from other YouTubers. Kibbs recently brought me Project Zomboy. So my point is like YouTubers, you know, like they do this to each other. It's like if you see a YouTuber that you like and he's small, it's like, hey, let me help you out. You know, let me tell you the secrets of the trade. Look, try this, try that. And when I help some VTubers out, the moment you buy them something, they think like you're hitting on them. And it's awkward, right? Because they're women. And they're thinking like, oh my god, it's so awkward. Like, this guy is buying stuff to me. It's like, just shut the fuck up. I'm not doing this to you because you're a woman. I'm doing this to you because you're in the same fucking profession as me. And I want to see you succeed. God damn it. And it's also like another thing. Like, if I donate money to an Arch stream, and I did this, you know, you go to Arch's channel and you give him a super chat, no one cares. No one says anything. If I go to a VTuber and I give her a super chat, everyone is like, oh my god, oh V, you're simping. Oh. Yes, it is what it is. What can you do? Koa isn't the only one. It's almost like every single woman. I haven't helped Anna. I should help Anna, that Star Wars girl. I should help her out to see how she reacts. But, like, I don't know what to help her out with, because, like, she already knows everything. She already has everything, so. It's not even quid pro quo. Like, I don't expect anything in return. I mean, the way I view it, I've been helped by others, so now I want to help other people. And I do it without expecting help in return. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that some of these VTubers, if they are going to get popular, like, let's say 100,000 subs, they'll probably forget about me. But not to mention, I besides HoloLive and maybe Vishojo, most VTubers aren't that popular. Like, most VTubers are very small. Tsunderia, for example, just fired, I think it was like 7 of their talents. Yeah, I wanted to see, like, who Tsunderia fired, and I wanted to be like, okay, can I collab with any of these girls? No. I mean, I'm not saying they're not talented, but they're like... They're streaming on Twitch. They're streaming on Twitch. Like, what can I do with a Twitch streamer? You can't say anything remotely offensive. You can't do any banter. It would be a very boring stream. I mean, they're probably nice people, but they're streaming on Twitch. Who does that? Who streams? What type of... No man at all, like Gustavo Fring liked to say in Breaking Bad. Karen Strawn will never forget me. I will never forget Karen either. Karen is amazing. I see her in my comment sections every now and then. If she ever reaches out and wants to have another collab, I'll have her on. I do like Karen. But like the thing with Karen, she had more subs than me. I don't know if she still does, because she hasn't uploaded videos. Girl writes what. But yeah, I mean, it's the other way around. I am grateful for Karen. Like, she is the one that helped me, not the other way around. So I will be eternally grateful for Karen Strawn. I wish I could do karaoke. I can't do karaoke. My voice is just too bad for karaoke. Russian trash streamer, man, you make fun of that, but I'm actually feeling really bad for a Russian. His name is Commander Del. So, sorry, not Commander Del, Comrade Del. Comrade Del has like this really interesting theme on his streams. It's like a radioactive bunker. And he plays video games, he's a guy. He's got like a really cool VTube avatar with a guy wearing a gas mask and he's got like red eyes and stuff. He's really bummed out about the recent happenings, you know, because like he can't control this shit. You know, he's in a country and the country says, well, you're part of us. And he's not allowed to make money off of streams. And he didn't have that many people watching anyway, but it's sad. It's really sad. He's not doing political streams or anything. He's just playing video games. And so, but yeah, he is streaming on Twitch. I'm center-right, and I see Putin as a monster. Why can't Westerners see the same? I just went and I explained it. I don't think they care about whether or not it's Putin. And not to mention, like, a lot of Westerners, especially, like, people who have seen politics by now, are kind of like, okay, well, the United States deals with monsters in the past, right? I mean, look at the Taliban. Like, first, they were allies with them, and then it's like, okay, they're not good. And now they're back in, I can't say, like, good relations, but now that it's kind of like it's back to being okay. You look at who they deal with Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and they do business with China, and they pretend that everything is fine. I mean, Joe Biden knows about the Uyghur situation in China, and I think like he actually said, it's like, oh, well, it's just Chinese culture. And I'm like, okay, well, don't tell me that you really care about dictators and bad people. Because that's not what it is about. It's all about geopolitics. It's geopolitics, strategic resources, expanding the American empire. Like, I get that. I respect that. You know what? I fucking respect that. I definitely respect. I want the American empire, yes. Because I don't want to see the Chinese empire or the Russian empire. Like, when it comes to showing restraint, the American empire, yes, I would say it has brought peace to the world. I mean, if you want me to go in history, let me put it this way. For thousands of years, European nations fought each other. Now, when European nations fight each other for so long, they get really good at fighting. Really, really fucking good at fighting. And they went out throughout the entire world and BTFO'd every motherfucker that had the audacity to stand against them. And then they came back in Europe and they caused two of the most devastating wars that mankind has ever seen. Why? Because Europeans are really good at fighting each other. And then the Americans, which by the way are still the extent of Europeans at the time. I mean, like, let's be honest, this is the continuation of the British Empire, right? So the Americans, when someone really pissed them off, I mean, like, genuinely pissed them off, they split the fucking atom, chat. They split the fucking atom. They invented new avenues of doing science, like an entire scientific field they pulled out of their ass, and they created the atomic bomb. And they fucked with those people that fucked with them not once, but twice. And some of, like, the most horrifying, grisly visage that has scarred humanity since. So that's what happens when Europeans get upset. Like, you get a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, why do we care that the Europeans are having a conflict? Well, because they have nukes. And if we have nuclear warfare, everyone loses, okay? Like, humanity loses. There is no winner in a nuclear scenario. Like, it's just losers. That's it. So we would prefer if Europeans stop fighting with each other. Now, the reason I like the American empire is because the American empire is using its military to guarantee European peace. Because ever since America has a big army, European nations haven't invested into warfare. So like, European nations are not putting money in the military because the Americans are protecting us. Now, if that situation were to change, and you'd have, like, European powers already, like, building armies, it would be really bad. Really, really bad. Not for Europe, but for mankind. So, yes, I like the American empire. So I understand the geostrategy involved and the geopolitics and the regional tensions and expanding American influence. I get that. But when you start talking to me about, like, oh, well, we can't let bad man do shit. Oh, fuck off. You know, we can't let bad man do bad stuff. That is for high schoolers and women. It just, seriously, like, anyone that studies politics, and by the way, I was joking before. Yeah, like, Team America explains it. And when I say, like, it's for women, I mean, like, the type of house mom that doesn't really care about politics. You know, she just watches TV every now and then, and she's like trying to understand. It's like, oh, why is America fighting that? It's like, because bad man does bad things. And it's like, oh, okay. Right? But like for other people that are passionate about history and want like a deeper understanding, and they want to delve into like what's going on, okay, well, it's about resources, it's about economic power, like strategic power and whatnot, and then you can actually have a normal conversation. Mutually assured destruction worked for decades, but it doesn't today. I don't know. I haven't seen nukes flying yet, so. Man, like, I've been thinking the other day just how bad a nuke is. And you know, like, if I were to choose, like, what is the best place to be in a blast radius? You know, like, you have the blast radius, it's like, how far you want to... I want to be as close to the center as possible. And I'll tell you why. Let's assume that you're just in the EMP zone. Okay, so you're not getting radiated. But like, the EMP strikes. Okay, well, now your car isn't working, so you can't travel. You don't have any electricity, so you can't call anyone. You can't dial 911, chat. You can't dial 911. You can't turn on the lights. If it's the middle of winter, you're going to freeze because you can't even turn on the heating. And then you realize you can't use the ATMs. You can't use the freaking ATM. So if you have any money that's in the bank, it's lost. The banks can't give you the money back either because their computers aren't working. The stores are going to run out of shit. So if you live in a city, you're fucked. Because the stores run out of shit. Then there is rioting and looting. And you can't call 911. The cars aren't working, right? No one is going to come to help you. I mean, it is horrible. And on top of that, you don't even know if there's nuclear fallout or not, right? Like, you just know there's a nuke. And you know, like, that because of that, there's no power or electricity. But you don't know if there's radiations out there, because you probably don't even have a Geiger counter. And if you do, it doesn't work. So, like, what do you do? Like, you're so fucked. You're unbelievably fucked. So, like, just so you can understand, when they say mutually assured destruction, nukes are horrible. They're really, really bad. Like, no, absolutely not. Like, I prefer if we don't. America woke empire is almost as bad as China. I fully disagree, man. Like, I have seen the shit that's coming out from China right now with their new crackdowns. No. America woke empire is where Russia was, I think like 60 years ago. Like, you need to understand, everything that the woke are doing right now, it's been done in Russia. You know, like population control, starving people to death, moving one person. Well, I mean... It's not, sorry, my bad. It's like, when I say population control, I don't mean like it's being done in America right now, but I'm talking about like Russia was tinkering with its demographics, right? So like, for example, they didn't like the fact that there's too many Ukrainians, so they starved them to death in the Holodomor. And then they moved people from one region to another. So they moved people from Ukraine into Siberia, and they moved people from Russia into Ukraine, and they kept doing this on a large scale, and they imported populations from many places, and they did gulags and stuff. And the entire culture shifted, and they took down statues, and they rewrote the textbooks, and they rewrote the history books, and there was a correct way of thinking and a wrong way of thinking, and they used punitive psychiatry in order to keep people in line. I mean, they did so many horrible things, and they fucked with science. They put people in positions of power in scientific fields that were based on corruption, like, what's his name? Lysenko, right? So Lysenko was placed in a position of power just because he was connected to the party. So, yeah, like, Russia did all the things that you see being done in America right now. I mean, give or take a couple of differences. They didn't care about the LGBTs, that's true. But they also suppressed religion. I mean, the idea of controlling culture, the idea of controlling citizens, the idea of controlling the wealth. Obviously, they didn't have... the ability to use social media and to use the social credit score. But they used rations, right? So you could have money to buy something, but if you didn't have the ration, you couldn't buy it. Anyway, Russia's rewrote Bulgarian history. Oh, a lot of countries do that when they can get away with it. I mean, man of culture. The quandary of Europeans depending on America is in that environment. You get the Green Party influence in Germany to be 100% dependent on Russian oil, which I think is the number one cause for this war. Yeah, that is a side effect. But again, I would rather have that than Germany just militarizing itself again. And then when the United Kingdom goes like, oh, well, we don't want to be in the European Union anymore, we want Brexit. Then Germany goes like, oh, I think the UK is now under a rogue occupation. We need to free them. You know, like, I would rather if that doesn't happen. Let's see. Jacobus Peterson, can you imagine how fucked things would get if N. Jammer from Gundam was real? I haven't watched Gundam. I know, I should. Archipelago Gulag and Ledokol should be required reading in the last years of schools. Would help to understand the monstrosity of Russian Empire and Putin's roots, and not to underestimate the threat. The thing is, like, most people who benefit from freedom and never actually encountered genuine authoritarianism, like my parents did, you know, they lived through the communist system. People who don't encounter that, like, even if they read it in a book, they don't believe it can be real. They don't believe it can happen again. I mean, look, let me put it this way. If you had the time machine and you take some newspapers from today, like from The Guardian and CNN, and took it back 20 years ago, I am willing to bet the people back there wouldn't believe you. I mean, imagine, you know, in the United States when Bush was at its most popular, and you would tell people like, okay, so Walt Disney wants to have like LGBT messages in every single one of its episodes, and the politicians who are fighting back against it are being called names and bigots and blah blah blah. Like, the people back then wouldn't believe you. They would say that you're crazy. Like, just so my point is, unless people experience it themselves, they don't believe it can happen. Hold on. I think I might have missed Mentat's super chat. I'm scrolling up and I don't see it, so I guess I haven't. Alright. Anyway, what time is it? It's 11:30, so I have to go work on my other videos, because I'm going to upload the one with Macron on my main channel. Yes, I did. I did become aware that he won the French elections. And I'm also going to have to make 2 other videos on my entertainment channel, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. I'll be uploading the video on my main channel right after this. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a great evening. And